Welcome to educational channel of sureshbhattclasses, quantitative aptitude video on percent. Please watch all my videos on this topic in which I have solved all types of questions with conventional method as well as by shortcut method. These videos will help you prepare for various competitive exams and placement interviews. To learn how to calculate percent fast, please watch my video on percent in playlist of fast calculation tricks. Let us start. Concept. On this part of the video, we should assume salary, income or expenditure as X or 100 or 100% as per requirement of the question. We will learn this concept by solving few questions. Our question is, Alex spends 35% on grocery, 25% on house rent, 8% on conveyance, 12% on other miscellaneous expenses, and balance is his savings. If he saves $800 per month, find his per month salary. Easy question. We solve like this. 35% of grocery plus 25% of house rent plus 8% of conveyance plus 12% of miscellaneous other expenses. The sum of these is 80%. And if the total salary is 100%, then 100% minus 80% is his total expenses, equal to 20% is his saving, and it is given that 20% is equal to $800. Therefore, 100% equal to 800 multiplied by 100 upon 20. 20 divides 800 for 40 times, and 40 multiplied by 100 is 4,000. So his salary is $4,000. This way we have to solve the question of salary. Our question is, Bob spends from his salary 28% on food, 12% on transport, 16% on house rent, 26% on children's education, 10% on insurance, and remaining of $448 is his savings per month. Find his salary and expenses on each head. So we solve this question like this. Food is 28%, transport 12%, house rent 16%, education of children 26%, insurance 10%. The sum of all these expenses is 92%. So if we subtract 92 from 100, which is his salary 100%, then savings will be 8%, and 8% is equal to $448. Therefore, 100% equal to 8 divides 448 for 56 times, and 56 multiplied by 100 comes out to be 5,600. So the salary of Bob is 5,600. Now we have to find his expenses on each head. Here you will learn how I calculate the percent very fast. On food, Bob is spending 28%, and we have to find 28% of 5,600. So first we will find 30%, and 56 times 3 is 168. So that will be 1,680. Now this is 30%. If we subtract 2% from it, then it will be 28%. 1% is 56. 2% will be 112. So if we subtract 112 from 1,680, then we will be getting 1,568. So 28% will be 1,568. So Bob spends 1,568 on food. Now 12% on transport. So we will first calculate 10% and then we will add 2%. 10% of 5,600 is 560 plus 2% is 112. So 560 plus 112 is 672. So 12% on transport will be 672. Now house rent is 16%. 16% will be 10% and half of 10% is 5%, which is 15%, and then plus 1% is 16%. So 10% is 560. Half of 560 is 280 and 1% is 56. So 560 plus 280 plus 56 is 896. Then 26%. 26% is 25% plus 1%. 25% is 1/4. 1/4 of 5,600 will be 1,400. 1/4 of 56 is 14. So 1/4 of 5,600 will be 1,400. And 1% is 56. So it will be 1,456. 10% is on insurance and 10% is 560. This way we can calculate the expenses on each head. That is, on food 1,568, on transport 672, on house rent 896, on children's education 1,456, and on insurance 560. 448 is already given to us. The sum of all these will be 5,600. Thus the salary of the Bob is 5,600 and the head-wise expenses are already explained to you, which I have given it on food, on transport, house rent, education and insurance. This way we have to solve such type of questions. Our question on percent is: Chris pays 29% towards home loan repayment, invests 12% in mutual fund, 14% in bank's recurring deposit, and remaining rupees 27,000 keeps for monthly expenses. How much is his annual home loan repayment? Here it is not asked his salary. Here it is asked what is his home loan repayment, which is 29% of his salary. So we solve like this. If his salary is 100%, then we have to calculate 29% of it. Or if we find the equivalent of 27,000, which is his monthly expenses, then we will be able to calculate 29% from that percent. So we solve like this: 29% plus 12%, which is mutual fund, plus 14% is recurring deposit. So 12 plus 14 is 26, 26 plus 29 equal to 55%. So remaining is 45%, that is his monthly expenses. So 45% is equal to 27,000. Therefore we have to find 29%. We directly find 29% instead of finding 100% and then finding 29%. So 27,000 multiplied by 29 divided by 45. 45 times 2 is 90 and 90 divides 270 for 3 times. It means that 45 divides 270 for 6 times. So 45 divides 270 for 6 times, and after these 2 zeros gives us 600. This is equal to 600 multiplied by 29. For fast calculation, what should we do? Instead of multiplying it by 29, we multiply it by 30 and then subtract 600 from it. So that will be 29. So 3 times 6 is 18. That will be 18,000. 18,000 minus 600 will be 17,400. Thus 600 multiplied by 29 will be 17,400. This is per month repayment of home loan, and it has been asked that what is its annual home loan repayment. So we have to multiply it by 12. Thus 17,400 multiplied by 12. We can directly calculate it. We put 2 zeros for last 2 zeros, and 12 times 4 is 48. We carry 4. 12 times 7 is 84 plus 4 is 88. We write 8 and carry 8. 12 times 1 is 12 plus 8 is 20. So this will be 2,08,800, or in international system 208,800. So this will be the repayment of home loan by Krish for 1 year, or it is the annual repayment of home loan. This way we have to solve such type of questions. These are easy questions and we can easily calculate. Even without going to his total salary, we can directly calculate 29%, which is his home loan repayment. We go to the question. Albert spends 20% of his salary on grocery. 20% of remaining amount on home loan repayment. 25% of remaining amount on education of children. 33 and 1/3% of remaining on household expenses. 50% of the balance invests in mutual fund, and he still has rupees 8,000 in cash. Find his monthly salary and amount he spends on grocery. Here remaining is important. For calculating remaining, after each expenses, whatever is the remaining amount, we have to calculate percent on that remaining amount. So it is just like successive discount. As we solve the questions of successive discount, similarly we have to solve the question of such type in which we have to calculate the percentage on remaining amount. Remaining is important here. So let us solve this question. Here we have to assume the salary of Albert equal to 100. He spends 20% on grocery. 20% of 100 is 20. So remaining is 80. Now on remaining 80 rupees, he spends 20% on home loan. 20% of 80 is 1/5 of 80, which is 16. Now remaining is 64. 25% of remaining, that is 25% of 64, he spends on education of children. So 25% is 16. 1/4 of 64 is 25% and 1/4 is 16. So remaining is now 48. Now 33 and 1/3% he spends on household expenses. So 1/3, 33 and 1/3 is 1/3 of 48. So that is again 16. Now remaining is 32. Now 50% of balance. So balance is 32 and 50% of balance he invests on a mutual fund. 50% on mutual fund. 50% of 32 is again 16. So he is left with 16. And 16 rupees out of 100 is 16%. So 16% is 8,000. Therefore 100%. 100 is 100% equal to 8,000 divided by 16 multiplied by 100. 16 divides 8,000 for 500 times. So his salary is 500 multiplied by 100 is 50,000. So his salary is 50,000. Now 20% of this amount is spending on grocery, and 20% of 50,000 is 1/5 of 50,000, which is 10,000. So he spends 10,000 on grocery. So this way we have solved this question. His salary is 50,000 and 20% of his salary he spends on grocery, that is 10,000. We have to solve such type of question in which remaining is there. So we have to calculate the percent on the remaining amount, and we can easily solve such type of questions. if we successively go on reducing the amount by the given percent and calculating the percent on the remaining amount. Our question is, Bunty spent 16% of his monthly income on transport, 33 and 1/3% of remaining amount on education of his kids, 25% of remaining amount on house rent, 66 and 2/3 of balance on household expenses. He is still left with rupees 7,168. Find his this month's income. Here we have to understand that we have to calculate the percent on every stage of remaining amount. That is important here. So we solve this question like this. We have to assume the income equal to 100. Let the income be 100. 16% on transport. 16% of 100 is 16 and remaining is 84. 33 and 1/3% of remaining amount on education of kids. So 33 and 1/3% is 1/3 of 84 and 1/3 of 84 is 28, and on subtracting 28 from 84 we get 56. Now 25% of this on house rent. So we have to calculate 25% on 56, and 25% is 1/4. 1/4 of 56 is 14, as 14 times 4 is 56. So 1/4 of 56 is 14, and now remaining is 42, and 66 and 2/3 is spent on household expenses. That is 2/3. 2/3 is 1/3 is 14 and 2/3 will be 28. So 66 and 2/3% of 42 is 28, and on subtracting we get 14. Now 14 out of 100 is 14%. So 14% remaining is equal to 7,168. 14% equal to 7,168. Therefore 100%. We calculate like this: 7,168 multiplied by 100 divided by 14. 7,168 when divided by 14 gives us 512. So this is equal to 51200 on multiplying by 100, that is 51,200. Thus Bunty's this month's income is 51,200. We can solve these questions easily by calculating percentage on remaining amount. The question is, a charitable trust spent 25% of its monthly income on scholarships to students, 20% of remaining to orphanage, 33 and 1/3% of remaining to old age home, 75% of remaining to hospital. The balance of rupees 45,000 after all these expenses was kept in reserve fund. Find income of the trust for that month. Here the remaining is important, and after each expenses we have to calculate the next percentage of expenditure on the remaining amount, and we have to reach finally how much percent is left, and that percent has to be equated with 45,000, and then we can calculate the income of the trust for that month. So we proceed like this. Let income be 100. Now 25% was spent on scholarships. So we write scholarships in short form as scholar, and 25% of 100 is 25, and the remaining is 75. Now 20% of this remaining, that is on 75, we have to calculate 20% on 75, which is given to orphanage, and 20% of any amount is 1/5 of that amount. So 1/5 of 75 is 15. This way we can calculate fast. If we convert the percentage into fraction, then we can calculate the percent fast. Now on subtracting 15 from 75 we get 60. This is the remaining amount. 33 and 1/3% of the remaining was given to old age home, and 33 and 1/3 is 1/3, and 1/3 of 60 is 20. So on subtracting 20 from 60 we get 40, and 75% of the remaining which is given to hospital. So 75% is 3/4, and 3/4 of 40 is 30. So 75% of 40 is 30, and remaining is now 10, and 10 out of 100 is 10%. So 10% is equal to how much money left? That was 45,000. So 10% is 45,000. Therefore 100% is 10 times of it is 4,50,000 or 450,000. This way we can calculate the questions of salary or income or expenditure easily. Do lot of practice, and by practice you will become expert in calculation of percentage. We will solve few more questions on salary, income and percentage in next video also. Here completes this video. Please watch all my videos on percent in quantitative aptitude series, as well as the video on percent in the playlist of fast calculation tricks. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to get the latest notifications.